Argentina thinks that it's not racist because Argentina thinks that there's no black people.
In Argentina, blacks do not exist. That's a Brazilian problem. That was Carlos Menem, then president of Argentina in 1996.
It is said that it's the whitest country in South America, that it's the Paris of America, of Latin America. Argentina is not white. If not, I wouldn't be here.
But Menem didn't invent this myth. He was repeating a narrative built over a century of deliberate racial erasure, because history tells a different story. As early as 1588, enslaved Africans arrived in what is now known as Argentina. Between the 16th and 19th centuries, more than 200,000 enslaved Africans were brought to the region. A 1778 census found that approximately 1/3 of the country's population consisted of people with African descent. In 2022, less than 1% identified as Afro-descendant. So where did they go? Some historians point to disproportionate black conscription in Argentina's wars and a devastating 1871 yellow fever epidemic, though others argue these were secondary to the deliberate policy of erasure by the state. In the late 1800s, Argentina's leaders decided the country's future was European. They called the policy blanqueamiento, whitening, and actively promoted intermarriage and mass immigration to dilute the non-white population.
We don't think that one drop of blood makes us black. We think that one drop of blood makes us white.
Around 7 million subsidised immigrants, mainly from Spain and Italy, arrived between 1850 and 1950, while black and indigenous people were pushed out of the public record.
The Argentinian state created a new racial category, trigueño, that means from the color of the wheat, and that made black people invisible and indigenous people.
Erasure on paper was met with violence on the ground. Between 1878 and 1885, at least 14,000 indigenous people were killed in the so-called conquest of the desert in Patagonia. In July 1924, Argentine police and settlers massacred the Quam and Macoy people who were protesting inhumane living and working conditions on cotton plantations in Napalpi. Between 400 and 500 people were killed, and it took until 2022 for it to be called a crime against humanity.
Indigenous people, they ask them where are they from, and they're from Argentina. They're more Argentinian. In fact, they've been here before Argentina existed.
Even Argentina's most famous export carries this history of erasure.
We don't know that tango comes from milonga, that came from African music. We don't know that. We say just it's Argentinian. We are here, that we didn't die in the wars, and we are black and we are Argentinians and Argentina is black.